Hello, my fellow YouTube friends. Today is Monday, April 23rd, and I'm here with today's Fight or Review. Starts out with Nick asking Victor with help regarding Daniel and getting custody of Lucy because of what happened on Friday's episode with the whole coffee house incident and the baby coming up missing and Ricky bringing the baby back. Um, they put Daisy on the witness stand and she's testifying about why she should get full custody and everything. And she says that she doesn't blame Daniel, she blames Phyllis. Now, Phyllis gave up her own child when she was younger, and now all of a sudden she's trying to get custody of Lucy, and Phyllis is furious after that. Um, Ricky's at he's trying to find out if somebody can give him any kind of information about the case, but nobody's pretty much helping him out. They show Neil and Sophia at the coffee house, and they're talking about where he was last night. And she finds out that he was with Harmony and Devon and Lily listening to Devon's song, and Kane and Lily. I'm sorry, Harmony, Kane, and Lily listening to Devon's song, and it just didn't sit well with Sophia. Neil gets up to go fix his coffee or get another coffee, and he bumps into Harmony. And Sophia looks on at them because they're saying excuse me or whatever, and she gives them the evil eye. So they go ahead and walk apart from each other. And Sophia goes up to Harmony and she starts telling her that her and Neil have a lot on their plate with work and the marriage and the baby, and she don't need her keeping her husband out all night long. She just went off on her, and Harmony couldn't do anything but just look and listen. But Sarge was looking at him from a distance about the little incident that happened. And once Daisy said what she said about Phyllis, Phyllis stormed out of the courtroom, and Avery was trying to calm her down. She's telling her, just calm down, it's going to be okay, it's going to be okay, reassuring her things are going to be fine. So they put Daniel on the witness stand. He's questioned, and the prosecutor is asking him all these questions about him, being a dad or whatever, and how is he going to be any different and all that. So Michael keeps objecting, and so the prosecutor finishes her question. Michael starts to question Daniel, and he's asking him, like, why does he think he should get full custody? And he's like, because I love her, she's my daughter. And he asked him about the incident that happened at the coffee house, and he told her he just looked away for just a quick second. There was some chaos that had happened. He turned away. When he turned back, she was gone, but they did get her back, and he never meant for anything to happen, and he loved her. He just took his eyes off her for a second. Jack tells Nikki maybe it is not their time, and maybe it was a mistake for them to get together, but because for her to go and go to the stables on Victor's property at night just to avoid him, that didn't sound right to him. He said, you went there thinking that he wasn't gonna be there, like he lives there. So maybe this was a mistake. Maybe this is not something we should have done right off. Harmony she had dropped her stuff, I guess, startled by her confrontation with Sophia, because Sophia got all in her face about it. And Sarge come over and asked if she needs some help, and she's like, no, I don't need no help. And she said, don't you have some friends you can find or something? You always just around. So she takes him and introduces him to Neil and Sophia as her boyfriend. Jack tells Nikki it's okay if she's not over Victor yet. He totally understands how their relationship is. She says that when she's with him, meaning Jack, she doesn't have to look over her shoulder for everything. So he said, well, I know how you feel about Victor. And she said, but no, you like, I think I'm making the right decision in so many words, that you are who I want to be with. So Victor tells Nick that because of his he can't help Daniel because of the SEC watching him with this whole beauty of nature thing, and he just doesn't want that to interfere, and he just got a lot going on right now. So Nicholas asked him, was it because of Phyllis, because of their relationship? And he said, no, it don't have anything to do with Phyllis. It's just I don't want the SEC breathing down my throat for no nonsense or whatever. So it's nothing I can do to help right now. Well, Daniel thanks Michael for all his work, and wait a minute, I'm sorry. Phyllis and Avery are talking about Daniel's case. they're still outside the courtroom because Phyllis left out. She just got upset. And so she's like, everything's going to be fine. We're going to win. And, you just need to calm down. And she goes, you always, taking that side, even with daddy and now with this. And she said, it's not about that. I don't even, they apologized for what happened with the whole book incident and blowing up. And she said, she was just still upset. Avery said she was still upset about the whole daddy situation. And Phyllis said, I understand. I accept your apology. Phyllis tells Avery she gave Daniel the book. She wanted him to keep the book. She glad he kept the book so that he could read it to Lucy. Avery says that she wants to be a part of Lucy's life, and Phyllis tells her she will be a part of Lucy's life. Well, the judge grants full custody of the baby to Daisy, with Daniel still getting his right to visit whenever Daisy allows. So they have to wait 6 more months before they can go before the judge again to try to get full custody again. Michael comes out. He gives Phyllis the results. She's furious. She can't believe the judge allowed Daisy, someone that killed 2 people, captive, full custody versus Daniel, who made one little mistake by turning his eyes away, real quick, and they get a custody to Daisy. So she's real upset about that. Then Michael said, they'll retry it in 6 months. She's like, 6 months? That's too long, but it is what it is. That's how the whole court thing works. So Daisy tells Daniel she always wanted to be a family, and while she's saying that they're bringing a baby out to her, the babysitter's like, oh, she's always good, and Daisy's like, yeah, I know, she's such a sweet girl, and she's flaunting her all in Daniel's face, and Daniel asks when can he see her again, and she says, when I get ready, when you accept who I am, and whenever I get ready. Well, he was a little upset about that. Daniel thanks Michael for all his work. Phyllis asks if what happened at the coffee house was the major change in the case, and Michael's like, well, pretty much. And she said, well, she know what she had to do to handle that because she know that Ricky was behind doing that. Neil and Sophia question Harmony and Sergeant's relationship. They ask them, how did they meet and all of that, and they go into at the AA meeting, and Neil's like, well, I thought people you really couldn't, the rules must have really changed because, people not supposed to talk with each other out after the, be together after the AA thing or something like that. I don't know how it worked. I've never been. So, Sophia's like, she's very happy for them. She's glad that they're together. They look like they're happy. And Neil's just like, yeah, nice to meet you, glad to meet you, and all that. Sophia has to leave for Mommy and Me classes at the athletic club, and Sarge says he had to leave to go back to work. So Neil asked Harmony, after both of them left, he asked her what was going on. And she was like, what do you mean? And he said, the kiss would have never happened last night if you really had a boyfriend, so what's going on? She said, oh, Neil, it was just a kiss. It wasn't no big deal. You need to remain focused on your family, your baby, and your wife. And so he gets a phone call, and he has to take the phone call. Avery and Michael are at the club again, but this time they're not sitting at the bar. They're actually at a table, but they still drinking. So they're laughing and talking. Avery says she feel bad. Well, they wasn't laughing and talking yet, but Avery says she felt bad about Daniel losing the case, and he tells her not to blame herself. He said it was nothing that they could have done differently that would have helped them win the case at that point. He said the whole Daisy thing was going on way before she got into town, so she shouldn't feel guilty about it. Um, Nick and Phyllis, uh, Nick and Phyllis arrive at Restless Style. Ricky is already there, and Ricky came up. He's like, hey, editor or boss, hey boss, and Phyllis is like, don't hey boss me, you're fired. And he's like, what do you fire me for? I told you that other incident, that article was not my fault. She said, I'm not talking about that. You know what I'm talking about. And she tell him how she know what he did to help Daisy win the case, and he kept denying it. And he made fun of the situation, saying, you mean to tell me that you and your lawyers and Daniel couldn't win the case against Daisy? And he laughed, so Nick threw him out. Jack tells Nikki if it's not That time he understand. Nikki's wondering if he's making excuses not to be with her. I'm sorry. So Nikki's wondering if he's making excuses not to be with her, and he said no. Uh, he said he doesn't want her to just be with him because she's running from Victor because it won't be any good for their relationship. So Nikki gets a phone call and she has to take it. So she tells him, she has to take it, and she walked away. Well, the doorbell rang and Jack went to the door and it happened to be Victor there. So Ricky is at Daisy's house. He's made it to Daisy's house and he wants to thank her. He wants to thank her. He wants her to thank him for helping her for helping winning the case for her. And she's like, well, thank you, but we're done. We're done after this. And he said, no, I'm just getting started. He was happy about what he did. He bragged about the look on Phyllis's face. Talking about her face was the color of her hair. And Daniel arrived at Restless style. He wants to leave town. Phyllis tells him no. Victor tells Jack that he was concerned about Nikki. That's why he was there. They have a little disagreement, a little word exchange, as they always do. Nikki shows up at the door and asks what's going on. He tells her he was worried about her and he noticed that she's walking better. Is her leg okay? She said, well, I'm fine, I'm well taken care of over here. And he said, well, we didn't. She said, why are you here? He said, we didn't finish our conversation yesterday. And she said, of course not, because you walked off, you left. And he said, well, you want to talk about it? She said, no, I'm fine where I am. You need to leave. She tells him goodbye. And he says, remember, this was your choice. And he leaves. And her and Jack, give each other this strange look. Sarge sneaks up on Harmony. He tells her he knows it was all an act, and how would her sponsor feel to know that she's deceiving people like this, how she's lying, and they have a exchange of words. She tells him to leave her alone and leave and all that. Well, Neil meets up with Sophia at the club, and that must have been the phone call that he had to take. It must have come from her, and he thought something was wrong. He's like, "Is everything okay? Is something wrong?" And she said, "Oh, nothing's wrong." And she throws this big kiss on him, and she tells him she got Moses' sitter and she booked a room for them at the athletic club, and they go upstairs together. Ricky wants to get more. Ricky wants to continue this thing he's got going against Phyllis, so he wants to continue to dig up as much dirt as he can about her past. He said, "I just know it's a lot. It's something out there on her, and I'm not gonna stop until I find it and destroy her or whatever." Daniel says he's not trying to run away from his problems, but he wants to go away, clear his head, meet with his art people, and get some stuff done. He want to make things right for his daughter. He actually said the words daughter. So that made Phyllis really excited. She was happy, and he's like, "Yeah, I can't believe I'm saying it, but I'm actually happy, and I thank you, and I'm sorry for what I put you through. We didn't even have to go through all this. Should have just accepted her, and he's gonna fight for her because he really loves her and he wants her to be in his life." When Michael and Avery are still at the coffee house, and they're talking about friendships and how she doesn't have any friends, and she congratulates him on being such a good friend of Phyllis. And she said, I wish I had friends like that. And he tells her, well, he's got enough room in his heart for another friend. And they talk about it, and she tells him thank you, and he tells her to take care of herself, and he leaves. Nikki and Jack talk about their relationship even more and how difficult it may be for Nikki coming from the relationship with Victor. He said her relationship with Victor is much different than him and Jen's relationship that they had. So he understands, but she reassures him that she wants to be with him, and they kiss or whatever. So Victor gets back home from being at Jack's, and Jen had sent him a card and a flower. And he balled up he read the card, he balled it up, and he threw it in the garbage. And he picked up the flower and he put it in the garbage as well. So you can tell he looked a little hurt, just out of it, like he can't believe what's going on. So that's pretty much what happened today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow, Avery and Phyllis get into it, and Lauren pulls the gun out on Daisy. So we shall see what'll happen tomorrow. You guys have a great rest of your day.